Let's give a warm welcome to our next guest, Ambassador Rajkumar Srivastava. He is a career diplomat who joined the Indian Foreign Services in 1997. Recently, Mr. Rajkumar Srivastava has joined as Dean of Sushma Swaraj Institute of Foreign Service. He holds a civil engineering degree from the prestigious Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur. He has pursued further studies in structural engineering and earthquake sciences. Mr. Srivastava has served in Indian embassies in Madrid, Yangon, Vienna, Brasilia, and Tokyo. While at headquarters in Delhi, he has worked in Foreign Services Institute America's US and Canada Division and Gulf Division. In his last assignment in Delhi during 2015-17, he was on deputation as a Joint Secretary to National Security Council Secretariat, Government of India, looking after the external security. Apart from Hindi, English, Mr. Srivastava speaks fluently Spanish and Portuguese. He takes a special interest in emerging technologies and digital domain. He likes to play bridge, chess, cricket, golf, and snooker. He plays guitar with interest in music. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Ambassador.
Namaste, Ambassador Rajkumar ji. When I was thinking about this topic, yoga for workplace innovation, I couldn't have thought of a better person than you. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation and being here with us today. Thank you.
It's a pleasure and privilege to join you on this special occasion of the week celebrating the International Day of Yoga towards 21st of June. So, the topic that has been given to me is about yoga and workplace innovation. When I think about what we have achieved in our institution here at Sushma Swaraj Institute of Foreign Service, as our friend was saying, Mr. Tomar, that there are certain things that we have practical experience about how to implement the philosophy and the knowledge of yoga in your daily life, and through that create something which is totally new, which is innovation. Innovation basically means thinking out of the box, thinking something new, so that you can solve those problems which are stuck because you have not looked beyond the normal course of action. And I think in India, today we are living at a moment where there is continuous momentum towards solving problems. Problem solving has become the motto of our journey towards Viksit Bharat. In that, we have created a startup nation. From literally no startups, say 10 years back, today we have more than 200,000 startups. So there is a revolution in place in our society, in our journey towards this developed India mindset, which has been inspired by our leadership from the top. But let's look at, on this special occasion of celebrating week-long yoga thoughts towards our 12th International Day of Yoga, which will be celebrated on 21st of June. Let's look at yoga from the point of view of where it originates from and see whether it has lessons for innovation. When I look at yoga as a philosophy, the first thing comes to mind, it can be seen in Rig Veda, the oldest book on this planet. You can see yoga reference in Upanishads. Then you can see yoga references in, of course, the biggest book on yoga is the Bhagavad Gita, which is part of Mahabharata, but it is actually a summary of Mahabharata in terms of what is useful for humanity, in terms of living our life. And then when you come to understanding yoga from the body and mind perspective, in terms of how this tool that has been given to us, how this operates, so that we are self-aware. When we're talking about self-awareness, you have to be aware about this body and this mind. You have to go back to Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. Now, if you just focus on these two books, Gita and Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, you get to know two very important aspects. One is to understand how this operating system works, that is human body and mind, and then you can look into the higher dimension, which is actually the consciousness. And secondly, how do we behave in society, in our life, that you can learn from Bhagavad Gita. So let me just give a bit of glimpse or summary of how I see it. If you have seen Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, it's a very small treatise of human knowledge, just 196 lines in Sanskrit, which you can print in 8 A4 size pages. So it does not require too much of research work. It just requires one day of hard work to go through it and understand what it means. It is divided into 4 chapters. The first one is Samadhipad, second one is Sadhanapad, third is Vibhutipad, and the last one is Kaivalya. The meaning of that is that first part is about understanding how this mind works. So the definition of yoga is given in the first part, first quarter of Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, which is Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. There are 5 tendencies of this mind. Yoga allows you to control those tendencies and you come back in this moment 100% fully aware. The second part, which is Sadhanapad, it explains you what are the 8 Ashtanga path, the 8-fold path to get the mastery of this body and mind. The third part, Vibhutika, actually is very much relevant to innovation because it tells you some of the very unique aspect of the power of this mind when it is focused. Like laser sharp, you can focus on anything and you can actually become like that research object, and then you can observe exactly how your research object is, and you can come out with outcomes which otherwise are very difficult to get in research labs. Basically, meaning is when you are focused 100% in one particular theme, one particular direction, you can achieve really, really great, miraculous things. That has been done by our saviors. Look at what we have achieved in astronomy, in mathematics, at times when we did not have any of these technologies that we are so dependent upon today. From that point of view, I would say when you want to understand innovation from yoga perspective, you have to read Vibhutipad to understand the power of this mind. And then finally, Kaivalyapad, which explains you that ultimately the whole objective of human life is to go through all this cycle to realize that ultimately you are here for nirvana, the moksha, or salvation. That means you can disassociate from this materialistic world and understand the real truth. Now, there can't be a better executive summary of how the human life should be lived in just 196 lines. That is Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. Now, let me talk about Bhagavad Gita. Now, Bhagavad Gita is, I would say, it's 18 chapters, but roughly you can say it is 1/3 Karma Yoga, 1/3 Bhakti Yoga, and 1/3 Jnana. In Karma Yoga, it explains that your role on a particular time and space is defined, and you need to do justice to that role, irrespective of your past or your future anxieties. That's what Krishna teaches Arjuna in Kurukshetra, that your role is of a warrior, and you should not think about who is in front. You are in a dharmic war, and you need to do that role fully. That is Karma Yoga. It also talks about Bhakti Yoga, that means devotion, abandonment of yourself, abandon your ego. And when you do that, you can actually associate with whatever you are focusing on. Your devotion could be to workplace, your devotion could be to a god, or your devotion could be any object, any family member. But that devotion is selfless because you have forgotten yourself in the devotion of that particular object or the person. And that is also a very important part of human life called Bhakti. And the lastly, it talks about you have to search for the truth. There are times in life when you actually are questioning, is it real, what you are living, what you are dying for, or there is some bigger truth that you are missing. And that Jnana Yoga is also, at some point of time, you get the awakening and you start searching the truth. Like, for example, looking at truth in Gita itself. Now, why I told these two important, I would say, 101 of yoga, Patanjali's Yoga Sutra and Bhagavad Gita. Because now, if you take the lessons from there and apply it in workplace, you can solve many problems through very innovative ways. For example, in workplaces, you find stress. How do you reduce the stress? You reduce the stress by creating an ambience where people feel a sense of ownership. There should not be a sense of employee and employer. People should feel that it is my place, there is a role that has been given to me, and in the whole ecosystem, my role is important. I am respected, my ecosystem is helpful, and they are looking forward to my contribution. That self-empowerment coming through this stress relieving exercise, creating that sense of ownership, is very important if you want your workplace to be innovative in terms of producing things which are not done in the past. Breaking new ground is only possible when people can focus on the processes stress-free. Secondly, creativity. You can create creativity in the organization by teamwork, bringing different knowledge experts within your system and bring them to contribute as a complementary set of people collaborating with each other. And that helps in creating an institution which is more than sum of the individuals. It becomes a larger effect because they contribute to each other's growth, because they bring something unique, and that complementarity can be harnessed if you create that sense of yoga. That means everybody is together. That sense of joining hands together is the philosophy of yoga also. Lastly, I would say, when you talk about abandonment from Gita, lesson of Gita, ego, removing ego in the organization is very important. I think I read somewhere when Satya Nadella was asked this question in Microsoft, what has changed after he became the CEO, the head of Microsoft? He said one thing that he changed, that in his boardroom, there was no fake tempers and everybody was respected. There was no sense of ego. They were not experts. They were all students together. And I think this is a very important concept that you bring together as problem solvers together as a team. There is no sense of ego that I am the boss and somebody else is the someone. If you remove those things, those workplace innovations make the workplace innovative. And I think this is a virtuous cycle that all of our organizations should get into, that kind of mode, that you create an ecosystem where people feel that you are yogi, you are connected, and you are more than sum of individuals. That is what I would consider the lessons from Patanjali Yoga Sutra of the multiple, where your mind focuses on one thing, totally selfless, and totally connect with the object of research or object of focus, and that's how you analyze what is the ultimate truth. Similarly, if you look at Gita, it says action, karma yoga, it says abandonment, bhakti yoga, and awareness, jnana. The 3 A's are actually the key of getting innovation in your workplace or introducing innovation in your workplace. Action, make sure there are processes which are being enjoyed by the people. Make sure the people are aware what are they there for. The purposeful leadership we have heard about in previous session. It's very important the purpose of your action is very clear to every individual in the organization. And lastly, very importantly, emotional intelligence that comes from, or compassion that comes from abandonment. Abandon yourself for the larger cause. The cause could be institution, could be organization, could be society, could be nation, and ultimately the globe. Ultimately, there is only one planet, and that environment sensitivity should be inculcated from the childhood to the upwards, so that we have pro-planet people on this earth. We do not have to blame the past generation. We do not have to blame the people who are polluting. We need to ensure that our ecosystem is pro-planet. And that also is an innovation in the workplace. Make your workplace greener, make your workplace stress-free, and make your whole ecosystem contributing to each other. That team feeling makes everybody get up in the morning, rush to the workplace, not feeling bad about it. In fact, I know people who love their Monday to Friday work, and they actually think badly about their weekend because they say, what I will do in weekend, my workplace is closed. That kind of feeling is the best way to enjoy your holiday in the workplace. For me, the best day of the week is Monday, when I come to the workplace full of energy. And I think that's the innovation we want in India, in the world, and especially in the journey towards developed India, Viksit Bharat. I think this is the motto. Create that feeling of yoga in every institution. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ambassador Rajkumar ji. Oh my God, I absolutely loved what you said. You spoke like a statesman. You spoke like an ambassador. You spoke like a professor. You spoke like an administrative officer. And you spoke like a citizen of this world also. So, rounded talk, absolutely in time, and covered everything what was expected, and you summarized it too at the same time. That's amazing. That's why I'm saying that you had many roles while you were speaking in it. And as they say, उनकी एक वो है दुष्यंत कुमार जी की, जिसको मैं उड़ता और बिछाता हूँ वो गजल आपको सुनाता हूँ. So this can be seen by your smiling face while you were talking, that you were actually talking about what you're living day and night. You started your talk with problem solving towards Viksit Bharat and startups. You kept on underlining this thing of problem solving, and how beautifully you mentioned about 4 chapters in Yoga Sutra, 196 verses, and you mentioned about that how chitta vitti nirodha, and then what are the means towards it, and then what are the powers you get, but you should not be attached to the siddhis. Then only you will reach to the highest truth. That is the last chapter. If you don't get attached there only with the powers. You beautifully divided Bhagavad Gita rightly in 3 parts. Do justice with your role, abandon your ego, work selflessly with devotion, and search for the highest truth and purpose of life. And you said that together these sciences can help us to solve the problems. Though you yourself summarized and you gave lots of examples, reducing stress, increasing creativity, abandoning ego. You gave examples from the corporate also. And finally, you summarized it well, saying act, process, people, purpose, and emotional intelligence. In any case, service before self. But before ending, you didn't forget to give a message to the world regarding environment also. That's why I said you spoke like a world citizen also at the same time. Oh my God. People would like to listen this talk once again. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being.
All the best.